सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिम् विश्वतो कृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलम् पुरुष एवेदकम् सर्वम्.
Namaste. When you took up sannyas, did you have to take the permission of your family members?
Normally, a sannyasi, if you look at the sannyasis across India, what happens is many people just go off. Many people are single and they just take the sannyasa route and wander off. If you look at the Madhva constituency, the Ashtamathas from Udupi, many of the Pithadhikaris are Bal sannyasis. From childhood itself, they have gone into the sannyasa path. They have taken the permission of the parents, or the Pithadhikari has sought the child from the parents and taken the child away into the ashrama and schooled and educated and brought up the child in the ashrama way of life, for preparing the child for a sannyasa life as a Pithadhikari, future Pithadhikari. This is for this particular side. Now, for the many people who seek sannyasa but don't know where to go and how to do about what to do about it, it is very simple. It is advisable to take your spouse into confidence and explain to the person what it is. However, in case you are not in such a position, one is not in such a position, then one has to go by one's calling. And the calling of the divine is definitely 1,000 times stronger than any other calling in this world. So, many times people may just go the way they have to go in pursuit of what the divine has asked them to do. And one just goes that way. There's nothing that one can do about it.
When I do see a lot of sannyasis who are not householders, and particularly from the Madhva community of sannyasis, where they have a lot of don't do this, don't do this and don't do this, and you cannot touch someone, you cannot eat food like prepared by somebody else, and what is commonly known as muddy in the Indian situation. Now, this is very rare kind of a thing. I have not seen this muddy system in any other spiritual stream that is there, which I know of. It's very rare. It's only the particular Brahmin Madhva community that go into the muddy. What is muddy as a concept?
Okay, when you look at muddy as a concept, the equivalent of it probably in Marathi is what they call as sodva. So where they say typically in Marathi as what you translate into English as don't touch is typically known there as shivnaka, to use the colloquial Marathi or the proper Marathi terms for it. Now this is basically not with an intention to alienate the others from the Brahmin community. No, it's been sadly misunderstood. In fact, I must be clear enough to clarify this. It's not with that intention. It is just that, please understand this, people need to understand this from just 2 points. One is, at the time of performing the pujas and the rituals, one needs to be in that particular state of being completely pure enough to be able to render one's service on behalf of oneself and everybody else present towards the divine. In seeking the grace and the blessings of the divine for everyone, first and foremost. Second, anybody who is into spirituality, anybody who is into meditation, anybody who is into chanting would realize, if they are sincere enough and they have been devoted enough in their chanting and their prayers, they would realize that the kind of energy that comes from within, from those chanting, the regular chanting, serious, devoted, dedicated chanting I'm talking about, focused chanting, is the energy level is so high that if you happen to come near a person or touch a person, it can send a very huge electric shock into the person. That may upset the balance in the person. The need is to avoid direct contact for the simple fact that it's still not been established as to at what levels of energy are flowing in the people who are there sitting and doing their meditation and their chantings. It's very difficult to establish that. And to try and get somebody to become a specimen or an experiment, is asking for foolishness to be brought about. It's best that we don't touch people, don't play upon such things. And at the same time, people remain wise enough to understand that what the Shastras have established since long need to be followed. They're not something which has come, yesterday's story written today for the sake of the TRP or for the sake of readership or eyeball catching. No, it's not that. It's something which has come from probably years of years, and people have studied it, and people have practiced it, and people are now able to realize and say that yes, this is something which we need to understand and accept. But unfortunately, most of the people, they think that, oh, the Brahmin means you must not touch him, he'll come, if you don't go near the Brahmin, others he'll say, oh, you're spoiling me, you're this and that. No, it's not that, please. We are as much human as you are. We have the same blood flowing in your veins as it is in our veins. I'm made of the same flesh that you are made up of. Probably the DNA is different. But beyond that, it's nothing. It's very, very simple. Understand, ultimately, at the end of it, it is only on account of certain facts that I have shared that this happens. Otherwise, there is no need for anyone to fear about it. After the prayers are over, after everything is over, the only thing is that we maintain certain amount of cleanliness at all times, and we ensure that, and at the same time the energy levels are high. We do not know when the energy levels should have tapered off. I'm not sitting here with a meter, voltmeter and saying that yes, my energy level is very low now, you can come and touch me or I can come and touch you. Come on, let's be honest about it. How can it happen? How can it happen? So this is what we are talking and this is what we are saying. So please don't misunderstand this. Don't read too much and take it to the extent that it bifurcates society and creates divisive lines across society. No, enough has happened in the name of that. It's not correct. We need to understand this in the proper perspective.
So, but why, maybe it's something to do with the disciplined lifestyle that you have led in your childhood, that you chose to follow Raghavendra Swami or the Madhva philosophy, because yes, in a civil service household where everything is clean and neat and a time for everything, a lot of other spiritual systems which are not so, what we say, we won't call it rigid, but not so clear-cut in the terms of their activities. Would you say that is a possibility, that that is why the Raghavendra Swami's Madhva philosophy attracted you to that?
I sincerely believe that there are two things here. One is there's a common saying in the English language, which is when the pupil is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
With what vision have you started Arcon?
As a sannyasi, today and prior to my being a sannyasi in the Purva Ashrama days, I would say from 2010 onwards probably, since I came to Mantralayam and stayed in Mantralayam for 10-11 years, my constant prayer, my constant longing before Sri Guru Swami Raghavendra was, Guruve, please enable me, if you deem me fit and right, to be the one to carry your message across the world to the lakhs and lakhs of people that are there. For this, you are the one who has to decide how it should be done. I am your instrument in your hands. Accordingly, one day after my ashrama, I got divine inspiration that the organization that needs to come has to be on the lines, this kind of a name has to be on the line. Accordingly, I was given the name also as Ashram for Guru Raghavendra Consciousness. So it's more that in line with making Guru Raghavendra as a message across, taking it across to the world. And in perspective of that, in line with that, keeping in view that this has come into being as Arcon, that is Ashram for Guru Raghavendra Consciousness.
What is this message from the? What is the message that Guru Raghavendra would like to convey to the world?
Let me go back a little. The fact is that most of the people who come to Mantralayam or even outside Mantralayam who look upon and revere Guru Swami Raghavendra do so as a divine person, as a god. The fact is that he is actually a guru. There's a difference between being a guru and God. Okay, people have missed that. They are looking upon him, they look upon him, they think of him and they believe him to be God. This is incorrect. Yes, I do agree and accept the fact that he is another avatara of Prahalad. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna does say that amongst the demons, I am Prahalada. But that does not mean that he is God. He is a guru. As a guru, in today's world, the equivalent of being a coach, in modern language, he's so well placed, so well enlightened, so learned, so humble, so modest, so caring, so sensitive, so endearing to all, that he is able to bring unto him everyone or draw everyone unto him and make sure they're all comfortable when they approach him with whatever they seek, and he's able to help them attain what they are looking for. Of course, the divine definitely has a huge hand to play in this. However, he is more of a guru who is the channel between you and me and the divine. So, to say that he is the divine is not the correct thing. Now, his message basically is the 14 points that he gave before entering the Vrindavan in 1671, and his teachings, which are drawn out from the Bhagavad Gita itself, where Krishna gives his message to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra at the beginning of the war. So these are what I have been tasked with to carry out across the world.
So you have chosen Bangalore as a place to start your ashram and spread the message?
Very humbly speaking, I have nobody to choose anything. Whatever the divine will play out. I'm happy in just being able to even move 1 micromillimeter forward or wherever, in whichever direction it has to go. It is all the divine's wish, it is all the divine's will. Today it may seem Bangalore, we do not know tomorrow what it is. Because to draw a leaf or to draw a page from my Guru's life itself, he was given his ashrama diksha in Kumbakonam. The matha was established originally in Kumbakonam. And one night, the divine appeared before him and he was told very clearly, Ido nim sthala illa, neevu munde hogbeku. So he kept asking the divine, where? And all that he got as a reply was, Samay bandaga nimantridedagata. So one fine day, he was told to get up and leave Kumbakonam. And he moved out of Kumbakonam, traversed across from Kumbakonam, finally coming into Adoni in Andhra Pradesh. And it is at Adoni where he realizes and gets divine inspiration that he has to establish his ashrama in Mantralayam. And that is where the ashrama has been established. So to say that I want to establish myself or establish Arcon in Bangalore, I am nobody to do that. It is all dependent on where and what the divine decides.
What are the steps that you would like to take in achieving the task that Guru Raghavendra Raya has set before you?
To give a real answer, it would mean I would have to go beyond simply saying that it is all as the Guru wishes. As a human being, I can definitely say one thing, that as a spiritual person, the message just come very clearly to me is that I need to ensure that certain programs are driven across society. For example, one is the Mantra Diksha program. Now, the Mantra Diksha program is to be open to all sections of society. I mean, there is no restriction there. All genders of society. Second is making Satsangs, Kirtans, Bhajans a very common happening activity across households, across community, across sections of society. It's not something which has to be confined only to the privileged few, no. Third is going out, reaching out to people, meeting people where they are and sharing with them the information and the knowledge that what seems to be in their perception the way of doing things need not necessarily be the only way. There are other alternative, better ways and result-enduring ways of going and attaining things for the fact that people still, for example, people still believe that on an Ekadashi day you have to fast. And when you fast on Ekadashi day, they decide that they will not eat a regular meat, but they end up eating all kinds of snacks and they full stomach and they say, oh, I have done a wonderful Ekadashi fast. I have eaten only fruits, bananas, and I have eaten wafers and things, sabulna khichdi and things like that. But on the contrary, they consume more than they would have consumed in the normal day. So it's not like that. Just to give you an example, there's much more than that. So with all this being there, these are just a few indicators which I have given to you and shared with you, but there is a lot more ahead that needs to be carried out towards helping me to meet the mission and the vision of the divine that has been set out and tasked for before me.
Does meditation and asanas play any role in your stream?
Yes, meditation, chanting definitely helps. Yoga asanas also help. We will definitely have people who will be available to offer these programs across to sections of society, across the sections of society, I would say. And it would really help people at large.
Would it be more the Patanjali kind of yoga asanas? Or do you have your own specific set of asanas, pranayamas, and because you talk a lot about japas?
Yes.
And mantras?
Yes.
And what else?
Apart from chanting, meditation, in meditation itself, we have with us, in fact, I have with me a team of Shishyas who are ready to take on and deliver therapy meditation in such a way that through meditation coupled with therapy, a lot of positive results can come across to people who decide to take that on for themselves. So it is there. And when it comes to yoga, yes, again, it's not just the Patanjali school of yoga. I mean, these are names given after people who established them. But if you look at yoga, it goes way back into thousands of years before all that. And there are with us yoga experts who are ready, who are going to be able to conduct and offer these programs. Even for simple things like sinusitis, there is a yoga. So you can get cured of your ailments or whatever is affecting you.
So all these plans that you have are going to come into force once your ashram is established, or is it already started?
The journey has begun. The journey has begun. We just conducted successfully our first Bhajan Mandali program last Thursday, and we're looking forward to the Mantra Diksha program, first Mantra Diksha program happening on this 31st. And I would definitely say that the journey has begun. It is Guru Raya's blessings that is enabling us to move forward. And I'm sure the pace will be quickened once the momentum takes place and happens. Everything will set itself into place. The divine blessings.
Where do you envisage the funding to come from?
Mysterious are the ways of the divine, and equally mysterious are the ways of man. But more mysterious is how the divine decides to play on you and with you. So this is something which I really have no answer for. I'm sure if the divine something to happen, they will ensure it will take place. And let me assure people that more powerful than even the God is the Guru. For the Guru can change your fate if he decides to do that. And what the God cannot do, the Guru can do. So it is all thanks to him, and it is at his feet that I place myself. I surrender myself to seek his divine grace and blessings to be able to carry forth all this.
In conclusion, how would you define a guru? There are so many gurus, spiritual gurus. What is your concept of a guru?
It is very hard to put everything into one sentence. There are so many qualities that are needed to be there in a guru. A guru is not simply a one who will hold you by the hand and carry you forward. A guru must be able to stimulate you. A guru must be able to take out your old beliefs and get you to seek new understanding, new values, new beliefs. Be able to imbibe that. A guru must be someone who is empathetic to you but not sympathetic. A guru must be somebody who is able to instill in you the wisdom, the learning that you need to draw on your own. He must be someone who must be able to motivate you into going further. A guru must be someone who will also know when to leave you to your own self and let you do what you have to do, regardless of whether you're going to fall or not. A guru is not somebody who will run along with you and say, okay, I'm running with you, so you run. No. A guru is there, this is what the race is, this is how the race is, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to go about it. And this is where you'll go. A guru must be able to stimulate you to be able to get the uncomfortable questions answered within from yourself. Because most of the answers lie within us and not outside. It is up to us to find the right guru, tap into him, allow him to access us, be open to him, surrender before him, and draw us out completely. And such a guru is none other than Sri Guru Swami of Materialism.
This was a brief interview with Sri KamalaNathaPrasada Swamiji. We look forward to many more interactions with him on various topics. This is an Arcon initiative. Namaste.